This isn't random. And it's definitely not temporary. Someone powerful has already made a decision about you. Not a careless decision. Not something based on impulse or emotion in the moment. This is calculated, thought through, quietly settled in their mind. They have already pictured you in their future. The only thing they're deciding now is timing. They are not wondering if they should move toward you. They are asking themselves when the right moment will be. Because this person does not operate from confusion or insecurity. They move with intention. They move with strategy. This is not a light attraction or a passing interest. This is someone whose presence naturally shifts the energy of a room. Someone who doesn't need to speak loudly to be respected. Their silence carries weight. Their attention is rare and selective. They do not give it easily. And yet, out of everyone around them, you are the one they cannot remove from their thoughts. They keep asking themselves what they are supposed to do about you. Not in a casual way, but in a serious way. Because what they feel is intense and unfamiliar. You didn't chase them. You didn't try to impress them. You didn't bend yourself to fit into their world. And still, somehow, you disrupted their balance. It wasn't something you actively did. It was your energy. The way you carry yourself. The way you exist without trying too hard. It affected them like a force of nature. They weren't prepared for it. They are used to being the one in control. Used to analyzing others, reading intentions, maintaining emotional distance, so they never lose power in any situation. This is someone who likely holds authority in their professional, financial, or social life. They are respected. They are stable. They are not used to feeling shaken. People are usually the ones intimidated by them, not the other way around. But with you, something shifted. You made them feel seen. And that realization unsettled them. Because being truly seen means being vulnerable. And vulnerability is not something they are comfortable with. They have been watching you quietly. Observing your reactions. Paying attention to how you respond. How independent you are emotionally. How grounded you remain. They wanted to know if you would orbit around them like others do. They wanted to see if your attention could be easily influenced. That you stayed in your own space. You didn't revolve around them. You kept your own gravity. And that both impressed and intimidated them. That independence created friction. But it also created fixation. They are not used to meeting someone who does not shrink or adjust around their power. Instead of chasing them, you remained centered. Instead of trying to gain their approval, you stayed authentic. And that is exactly what captured them. This goes deeper than attraction. Yes, there is desire. Yes, there is intensity. But what truly changed everything is respect. They respect you. And for someone like this, respect is serious. Attraction can be ignored. It can fade. It can be rationalized away. But respect cannot be dismissed so easily. When they began to respect you, you became someone they see as an equal. Someone they value. That is rare for them. Extremely rare. They are not used to feeling mentally and emotionally challenged in this way. You have entered their mind in a way that feels permanent. And now they are thinking carefully, strategically. Because once they decide to move, they will not do it halfway. When this person acts, they commit. Something shifts when a person truly begins to respect you. Not just like you. Not just feel attracted. But genuinely respect you. When that happens, you stop being temporary in their world. You become someone they value, someone they see as rare. And when someone recognizes your worth on that level, they don't easily let you slip away. Respect creates attachment. It creates emotional investment. It builds something deeper than simple attraction. But here's where it gets intense. Respect also opens the door to vulnerability. And vulnerability is something this person has avoided for a long time. They are used to being confident, bold, in control. Their identity is built on strength and composure. They don't easily show their softer side. So when emotions start rising unexpectedly, when they feel exposed in a way they cannot manage, it unsettles them. You didn't force this. You didn't chase it. Somehow, naturally, you bypass their defenses. And that is what shakes them the most. You may have noticed something confusing. At times, they are intensely focused on you. Their energy feels strong, direct, almost consuming. Then suddenly, they pull back. They become distant, quieter, harder to read. It feels inconsistent. But this is not confusion. And it is not mixed signals. It is regulation. They are trying to slow themselves down because their feelings are escalating faster than they expected. When someone who is used to control starts losing emotional predictability, it creates internal tension. They are not afraid of you. They are afraid of how deeply they feel when they are around you. You activate a version of them that is more emotional, more instinctive, more open. And that version feels exposed. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever caught them watching you when they thought you were not paying attention? That was not accidental. They were not just looking at you casually. They were observing you carefully, memorizing your expressions, your independence, the way you carry yourself. When someone powerful is about to make a move, they do not rush blindly. They make sure the decision feels irreversible, and they are reaching that emotional threshold. Their feelings have grown over time. Maybe slowly at first, but now they are strong. They think about you more than they show. Small details replay in their mind. They feel drawn to you emotionally, mentally, and physically. This intensity is new to them. It disrupts their usual calm. They are not used to wanting someone this much. And yet, they have not acted fully. The reason is not lack of desire. It is anxiety. There is a mental conflict inside them. One side wants to move forward, to close the distance, to claim this connection. The other side fears losing control, fears rejection, fears exposing too much too soon. They are calculating their steps because once they move, they want it to be real and lasting. This confirms something important. The hesitation you see is not indifference. It is depth. They are not unsure about you. They are wrestling with the intensity of what they feel and trying to understand how to handle it without losing themselves in the process. Listen closely. Because this isn't small. This is deep. And it's been growing quietly in the background for a long time. You did something to them without even trying. Before you, they had a certain emotional stability. They knew how to manage themselves. They knew how to stay composed, how to stay grounded, how to keep their feelings organized. They were the type of person who could handle life without showing cracks. But then you came into their space, and something changed. The emotional certainty they once had started to weaken. It didn't disappear overnight, but it began to crack. And now, it feels shattered. And what's happening next is the part that makes them feel confused. They're questioning themselves in ways they never used to. They're replaying moments, rereading your energy, overthinking things they would normally ignore. It sounds paradoxical, because from the outside, you might think, if they feel so strongly, why are they acting so calm? Why are they acting distant? Why aren't they doing more? But psychologically, it makes perfect sense. Because when someone recognizes the true value of a connection, two powerful forces rise up at the same time. One is desire, the desire to secure it, to protect it, to keep it. And the other is fear. The fear of losing it, the fear of messing it up, the fear of not being enough, the fear of watching it slip away. Those two forces fighting each other creates internal tension. And when someone feels that kind of tension, they don't always move forward quickly. Sometimes they do the opposite. They slow down. They retreat. They go quiet. They pull back. Not because they lost interest. Not because they stopped caring. But because their interest became too serious to mishandle. This is the truth. They don't want to do the wrong thing. They don't want to act impulsively and ruin the connection. They don't want to show too much too soon and lose control of themselves. They don't want to say something they can't take back. So they hold it in. And this is where many people misunderstand powerful individuals. People assume silence means indifference. They assume distance means they don't care. They assume control means there are no emotions. But in reality, silence often means preparation. Silence means they're trying to get themselves together. Silence means they're trying to figure out the best move. Silence means they're trying to understand what they feel before they reveal it. Silence means they're building the courage to act in a way that matches the seriousness of what they feel. And yes, this person has been preparing. But preparing for what? Preparing for the moment when they can no longer pretend they don't feel what they feel. Because this situation has been misunderstood. And not just by you, by them too. They haven't been showing you what they truly want. They haven't been showing you how much they're holding on to you emotionally. They haven't been showing you how deeply your presence has gotten under their skin. They haven't been showing you how madly they feel about you. And that's why it feels confusing. Because you can sense something. but you don't see it clearly. You feel their energy, but you don't see the actions matching it. You notice the pull, but you also notice the distance. You see signs, but you also see silence. So it feels like a misunderstanding. But the truth is, their intentions have been misunderstood because they don't know how to express this properly. This person isn't used to feeling emotionally exposed. They're not the type who usually loses control. They're used to being the one in authority, the one who leads, the one who stays composed, the one who is dominant, the one who keeps their emotions under control, the one who doesn't need advice from anyone, the one who handles things alone. So when emotions hit them this strongly, it creates a kind of internal crisis. Because there's no one they feel safe enough to talk to about it. There's no one they can admit this to. There's no one who can guide them through it. They don't want to look weak. They don't want to look vulnerable. They don't want to admit that someone has gotten this deep. So they keep it inside. And when emotions stay trapped inside someone like this, they don't just disappear. They grow. That's why it can feel like so much emotion, but no action. But that doesn't automatically mean negativity. It doesn't always mean avoidance. Sometimes it means the feelings have become too intense, too rooted, too powerful, so powerful that the person feels paralyzed. Because now it's not just feelings. It's fixation. It's attachment. It's the kind of attachment that starts to feel like addiction. Not in a dramatic way, but in a psychological way, where your presence becomes something they depend on, and your absence becomes something they struggle to handle. And this is very important. Your energy affects them more than you realize. Your emotional availability affects them. When you're warm, when you're open, when you smile, when you act casual and relaxed, they feel stable. They feel like everything is okay. They feel secure. Their mind calms down. Their emotions settle. They feel happy inside because your energy is giving them reassurance. But the moment you pull back, the moment you get quiet, the moment you don't respond the way they expect, the moment you don't give them the same attention, their world shifts. They feel it immediately. It's like everything turns upside down internally. And that's significant, because it means they started using your emotional presence as a kind of comfort, as a kind of stability, as a kind of inner anchor. But at the same time, you also disrupted their autonomy, because they don't like needing anyone. They don't like feeling affected. They don't like feeling emotionally dependent. So when they realize how strongly your energy impacts them, they don't just feel love. They feel challenged. They feel exposed. They feel like they're losing control over their own emotional state. And they don't know how to handle that. That's why they retreat. Not because they don't want you, but because they want you so much that it scares them. Now this is where another layer enters the dynamic. Jealousy. And listen carefully. Jealousy here doesn't automatically mean insecurity. In this case, it's deeper. They don't like the idea of competition. Not because they think they can't win. Not because they doubt their value. But because the thought of anyone else getting your attention bothers them on a deep level. Why? Because they've already become emotionally attached. They've already reached the point where they think about you more than they want to. They've already asked themselves questions like, why am I feeling like this? Why does this person affect me this much? Why can't I just detach? What do I need to do to make this real? How do I stop anyone else from getting close? And even if they don't say it out loud, their mind has been circling around one big truth. They want you. They want to secure you. They want to know they have a place in your life that no one else can touch. So when jealousy shows up, it's not random. It's a sign of seriousness. It's a sign that their feelings are no longer casual, no longer light, no longer something they can keep pretending doesn't exist. And what's happening now is that this jealousy is turning into pressure inside them. Because the more they care, the more they realize they can't stay silent forever. The more they feel, the more they realize distance won't protect them. The more they hold back, the stronger the emotions become. And that's why you're about to see something shift. Because this isn't a person who will stay in this tension forever. They may delay. They may hesitate. They may try to control it. They may try to act calm. But the truth is, their emotions are intensifying. Their attachment is deepening. And their desire to secure you is getting stronger. So if you've been feeling like this connection is building in a strange, quiet way, like something is happening behind the scenes, you're not imagining it. This is preparation energy. This is, I'm trying to get myself together before I make a move energy. This is, I don't want to lose you, but I don't know how to handle how much I want you energy. And the reason it feels like a misunderstanding right now is because they haven't shown you the full truth yet. But they will. Because they can't hold this forever. And once it starts coming out, it's not going to come out halfway. It's going to come out intensely. It's going to come out strongly. It's going to come out in a way that finally makes you understand. They were never indifferent. They were never uninterested. They were never casual. They were fighting themselves. They were trying to control what they couldn't control. And now, they're reaching a point where holding back is becoming harder than speaking up. There is something about you that feels powerful, almost magnetic. It's not something you try to do. It's just who you are. And this energy is affecting this person more than they ever expected. You make them feel protective, a little territorial, a little insecure, not in a negative or toxic way, but in a way that says, I don't want to lose this. They don't like competition when it comes to something valuable. And they see you as extremely valuable. You have touched something inside them that makes them feel complete. And once someone feels that kind of wholeness with another person, letting them go doesn't feel possible. Even if they never admit it out loud, inside they already connect you with permanence. In their mind, you are not temporary. You are not casual. You are not just a phase. The thought of losing access to you, emotionally, physically, or even just through communication, creates urgency within them. They might appear calm, distant, or composed on the outside, but internally, something is moving fast. What makes the situation different is that they are not acting impulsively. They are being careful, measured, strategic. This is not someone who wants a short emotional rush. They are thinking long-term. They want stable access to your life. They are building emotional strength inside themselves before they take external action. They understand that you are not someone they can approach carelessly. Imagine a person who has never trained for a race suddenly waking up every day and practicing seriously. Not because they enjoy running, but because they have decided they want to win a marathon. That is exactly what this person is doing emotionally. They are preparing themselves for you. They are working through their fears, their insecurities, and their doubts so that when they step forward, they do not lose you. Their biggest fear is not small rejection. It is permanent rejection. The idea that they could miss their chance with you forever deeply scares them. They are afraid of miscalculating timing and closing a door that can never be reopened. That fear is why they have been observing, waiting, and analyzing. This is not hesitation. It is emotional positioning. They want to make sure that when they move, the chance of success is high. Something has shifted recently. They are no longer confused about how they feel. There was a time when they questioned it, doubted it, maybe even tried to suppress it. But now, there is clarity. They know what you mean to them. And when someone like this reaches emotional clarity, they act. Not randomly, not carelessly, but with strong intention. When this shift becomes visible, you will notice changes. More consistency, more presence, more emotional openness. They are transitioning from simply watching you to actively participating in your life. And once this transition begins, it does not reverse easily. This is not a temporary wave of emotion. It is a decision. They see a future with you. Not as a fantasy. Not as an experiment. But as alignment. They feel that you fit into their life in a long-term way. They do not see you as an option among many. In their eyes, you are the choice. They compare you to no one because no one compares. They think about you more than you realize. They replay moments in their mind. They imagine future conversations. Sometimes, being without you feels heavy to them. Their feelings are not temporary. They are future-focused. They were never truly deciding whether they wanted you. The real question for them was whether they were ready for what wanting you would require. The emotional responsibility, the vulnerability, the commitment. And now they are reaching that readiness. The energy between you is shifting from observation to emotional claiming. Not ownership in a controlling sense, but recognition. Selection. Choosing with awareness. When someone chooses you from a place of clarity instead of impulse, it carries weight. It feels stable. You are entering a phase where hidden emotions become visible, where distance begins to close, where restraint turns into action. There is movement coming, and it will not feel random. It will feel intentional. Something that has been quiet is about to surface. You will begin to see things differently. You will notice behaviors changing. This connection is not fading. It is deepening. What once felt uncertain is becoming defined. This is not the ending of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter where intentions become clear and actions follow emotions.